Egg prices are going up. Why? Same reason they were under Biden, bird flu. I know. Trump and the Republicans never gave him any credit for it. They just beat him over the heads with it. That's politics. Now it's Trump's problem. Now the suggestion is that we all grow chickens in our backyard. I think that's kind of a joke, and I'm going to discuss that with the Secretary of Agriculture. What is not a joke is what the impact of tariffs will be, not just with China threatening to take us on any level that we ask for, which is very dangerous, but what does it mean for our farmers? Joining me now is the woman President Trump has tasked to help bring down food costs, Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins. Congratulations on the position, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much. Great to be here. Really, really appreciate the opportunity. You want me to just jump right in on the price of eggs?
Please.
Okay, so here we go. The first thing I think is important to note, it's a lot more. We rolled a plan out last week. Raising chickens in the backyard is something the Democrats sort of gleamed onto. That was sort of an aside that certainly if anyone wants to do that, that's not a bad idea. But at the end of the day, we had a pretty massive 5-point plan. I was 1 week on the job. This problem started years ago under Joe Biden. Our 5-point plan was almost $1 billion, $500 million for biosecurity to lock the barns down. Number 2, how we get the repopulated flocks back after Joe Biden culled and depopulated almost 160 million birds. Number 3 is deregulation, getting the government off the back of some of these chicken farmers so they can get back out there right away. Number 4 is importing eggs. We announced a deal with Turkey last week to import almost 70 million eggs. We've got another couple coming online very soon to get eggs on the shelf immediately. And number 5, the longer term plan was putting some good money into vaccine and therapeutic research. The vaccines are not ready yet. A lot of people wanted us to move vaccines out right away, but we just didn't believe it was the right time. Not enough research had been done, and we need to ensure it will actually help the problem, not make the virus stronger and jump to other species. So that's the 5-point plan. But the other thing I want to say, if you don't mind, Chris, is we're talking about the high price of eggs, and I want to show your viewers this chart. So you'll see here that this is 40 years of egg prices, right? 40 years. The blue is Obama, the first Obama term. The red, you'll see that prices of eggs go up. The red, the prices go back down. That's under President Trump the last time. And then the blue is when they skyrocketed. So certainly avian flu has a lot to do with it, but it's also the high cost of inputs, the unbelievable amount of regulation, the shutting down of our export markets. We have a $49 billion deficit in our ag products since Joe Biden took office. Do you know how much of a deficit we had under President Trump when we left? 0. So there's a lot more that goes into this than just the avian flu, and we're working really hard to address it.
Tariffs. The first time Trump put tariffs on in his first administration, farmers were hit hard. Wasn't your problem then. There was a huge subsidy, more than we spend on a lot of things like aspects of nuclear development, children's health, went to farm subsidies to offset the tariffs. This time, I don't know that we have the money to do it. Are you worried about what the impact will be on America's farmers if these tariffs take bite?
Listen, every minute of every day, my job is to focus on America, effectuating the president's vision to make America great again and to protect our farmers and our ranchers. There is no doubt that the ag economy is at its thinnest margin than it has been in our entire lifetimes. A lot of that has to do with the last administration. As I mentioned, the exports that are down, our deficit's down $49 billion. A lot of that has to do with the cost of input, but a lot of it has to do with we've got to get our product out into the world. And when we do that, we will solve for a lot of these problems. In the last 2 weeks since I was sworn in, I've been in 5 different states. I've met with hundreds of farmers. I have heard their concerns directly, even this morning with 50 different states, all 50 states represented by their farming community. And I've heard them and heard them loud and clear. The president is with our ag community. His heart for the farmers last night at the State of the Union, he talked about the farmers multiple times. I trust his vision. I trust the team that has been put in place. While the next short term may be slightly unpredictable, which is what the president talked about last night, for the long term, what the president has said is that our ag community will be more prosperous than perhaps it's been in our entire lifetime. And I believe him, and my job is to ensure that that community is heard and protected as we move into the coming weeks and months.
Secretary, I believe you because I have no reason not to. The same does not apply to the president because the tariffs the first time around did not do that for the farmers, and he made the same promise, and now there are even more tariffs. That's why I'm putting it on the radar for people, because I know they're going to be hit if these tariffs stay in place. I don't think they will stay in place. That's not your call. That's not my call. But if they do stay in place, I don't know how it's not even worse than the first time around, so I'm going to keep an eye on it, and you're always welcome here to make the case. Brooke Rollins, I wish you well. The country needs it.
I would love to come back and talk to you about that, because the last time we do think it worked, and this time it's going to be even more. So I look forward to the continuing conversation.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.